Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 21 based on novel. So let's start. Chaos A cave number 913, this is Luo Feng's own cave. When he returned to the cave, Luo Feng was naturally relaxed. This was also the commonality of most life forms, and they would relax a lot when they got home. Moreover, his absolute confidence in his own strength also made Luo Feng very relaxed. Luo-sa, come with me. Luo Feng ordered. Here I come. Morosa followed Luo Feng happily, while Mo Qingyang walked obediently to the small building next to the gate, as he had to keep an eye on the door. At this moment, Luo Feng and Morosa had no idea that Yinkang was hiding in the air outside the cave. Yinkang was good at sneak attacks and assassinations. When he was carefully hiding, he seemed to be a part of the space. Even Luo Feng and Morosa, who were extremely sensitive to the smell, did not notice his presence. Luo Feng and Morosa were about to fly to the underground palace. Just then, Luo Feng's face changed slightly, and a grey-robed figure appeared in front of Luo Feng as if teleporting. The eyes of this grey-robed figure were like an endless whirlpool staring at Luo Feng, and at the same time, a sword shadow in his hand had pierced into Luo Feng's body. Yes, the moment Luo Feng discovered it, the sword had already pierced into Luo Feng's divine body. Die? The cave formation is useless in front of Yinkang. After all, this small cave together with the formation is only 500 cosmic sands. This formation can only block ordinary eternal true gods for a short time. In front of an existence like Yinkang, it can be completely ignored. The Huyang City formation is in operation, and the space is sealed. Except for the City Lord's mansion team, other strong men can't travel through the void. When Luo Feng was stabbed by a sword, his first reaction was surprise that the other party could travel through the void. But this assassin can forcibly travel through the void. I guess his realm in space is very high. The restricted space of Huyang City does not mean that outsiders cannot travel through the void. For example, the Lord of Chaos can forcibly travel through the void. This assassin's ability can be seen from the fact that he can travel through the void in Huyang City. Where did such a terrifying master come from? Luo Feng was a little confused. Even if the 5 major families want to retaliate, they won't be able to find such a master in a short period of time. The methods of this master are not in line with those of the eternal true gods in Huyang City. Die? Yinkang was murderous. After the sword penetrated, an illusory sword shadow rushed straight to the soul in Luo Feng's true god's heart, intending to destroy the soul directly. At the same time, this sword exploded with terrifying power in Luo Feng's body with unimaginable destructive power. Even though Luo Feng was a perfect divine body and had undergone 2 body refinements, he still collapsed and was annihilated in front of this terrifying power. This was an ordinary move that was comparable to that of a Chaos Realm Master. This sword is the culmination of Yinkang's achievements. This move attacks both the body and the soul. Anyone who can't defend will die. This soul attack is just average in power. The Star Tower guarded the heart of the true god, while Luo Feng's mind and will were the first to resist the illusory sword shadow. Having reached the peak of Chaos Domination's mind and will, and having been tempered by the Great Destruction Refining Heart method for a long time, he was not afraid of external attacks at all. Bang! Luo Feng's mental will was like an unshakable sword. When it collided with the illusory sword shadow, it caused the illusory sword shadow to collapse directly. What a strong will of the mind! Yinkang felt the collapse of the illusory sword shadow and was secretly surprised. However, my sword attacks both the soul and the divine body, so your divine body will still be annihilated. Normally, when hit, even if the soul can withstand it, it will be affected by the impact, and the divine body will have loopholes in its defense. Even if you are not killed by one sword, Yinkang will usually be able to make up for it with 2 or 3 more swords. The soul attack is not worth mentioning. Luo Feng was stabbed by a sword and felt the damage to his divine body. But the damage to the divine body is quite strong. This sword actually destroyed about 1/10,000th of my divine body. Luo Feng was still very surprised. After all, as a perfect divine body, his reserves of divine power are terrifyingly large. Being able to destroy 1/10,000th of his divine body with one sword is indeed a terrifying attack. After all, the time I spent breaking through to the eternal true God was too short. I haven't even completed the 3 stages of the ordinary body refining secret method, the chaos power diagram, and my comprehension of the chaos law is still very shallow. Facing this sword, Luo Feng immediately realized that his accumulation was still relatively weak. He can withstand it purely because of his perfect divine body. Snort. As Luo Feng thought, a small universe descended and darkness enveloped the area around the cave. At the same time, Luo Feng stretched out his hand, and divine power instantly burned. His arm swelled rapidly, and his palm crushed forward with unparalleled might. Facing this palm, Yinkang did not dare to resist it head-on. He knew that this palm was enough to penetrate the body of the purple jade hound. He knew that his body strength was not as good as that of the mechanical treasure, and he instantly turned into a mist, and with a flicker, he avoided the terrifying palm that Luo Feng slapped out. What a strange movement. A set of dazzling golden armor appeared on Luo Feng's body, and pairs of extremely dazzling golden wings bloomed. 6 pairs of golden wings spread out behind Luo Feng. Luo Feng looked towards Yinkang. The power between the surrounding heaven and earth condensed into chaotic airflow. The extremely rich chaotic power was everywhere, and naturally suppressed and bound Yinkang. Control chaos? Yinkang appeared not far away. His control over chaos is probably close to that of a real chaos master. Under this suppression, I can't even travel through the void. And he was hit by my sword, but he's fine? Or maybe he is pretending to be fine. If I hit him with a few more swords, he might be dead. Yinkang is experienced and very confident in his killing moves. His sword is a single-body mechanical secret treasure, the sword in the world, which is best at condensing divine power at high intensity. Like Wu Yui, the divine power can be condensed and transformed, but Wu Yui has such power because Luo Feng's perfect divine power is too strong. Once condensed and transformed, it can rival the divine power of the Lord of Chaos. However, Yinkang's divine power was much inferior to Luo Feng's. It was only with the help of this sword in the realm that he was able to condense his divine power to be close to that of the Lord of Chaos. This sword has the sole function of condensing the power of chaos, which makes it worth more than 1,000,000 cosmic grains of sand. As for the killing move he just performed, it was figured out by Yinkang himself. It is normal for the powerful eternal true gods to comprehend 1 or 2 moves of the chaos realm. When they comprehend more moves and accumulate more profound knowledge in all aspects, they will be able to master the complete chaos law and become the Lord of Chaos. Humph! Yinkang turned into a wisp of mist and rushed straight towards Luo Feng in a flash. Luo Feng's wings of killing Wu blossomed, controlling the chaos and suppressing the surroundings. Yinkang was suppressed and unable to travel through the void, but Yinkang's flying flexibility and speed were still superior to Luo Feng. Yinkang approached in an instant and the sword shadow attacked. Luo Feng tried to stop the opponent with both hands, and Wu Yui was also unleashed, attacking like a winged knife. At the Eternal True God stage, the power of the winged knife was even stronger than the blood shadow knife. Even with both hands and wings, he couldn't touch Yinkang. Yinkang's sword was mysterious and unpredictable. Under the suppression of the chaotic airflow, it seemed to be passing through the void, and sometimes it would leave a sword mark on Luo Feng. The power of each sword was weaker than the initial sneak attack, but it could also destroy a large amount of Luo Feng's divine power. His accumulation in the Eternal True God stage is too profound, and his skills are at a higher level than mine. Luo Feng was able to charge forward relying solely on his perfect divine body from the second body refinement and burning divine power. But the trick is indeed a bit stupid. The powerful opponents I met in the past were very close to my level. After their sneak attacks failed, it was difficult for me to make a few more strikes. But this Luo, a divine lord, his moves were very crude, and I was able to make a few more strikes easily. Those who are considered powerful opponents by him usually have deep accumulation in the Eternal True God stage, and can even comprehend the tactics of the Chaos realm. Luo Feng had only comprehended 3 of the 6 swords at the eternal level out of the 9 swords that could break through the boundaries, which showed that his accumulation was still relatively weak. If I had known that his realm was so weak, I could have killed him head-on. Yin Kang thought, in this short exchange, he has been hit by my sword 12 times. His divine body should not be able to withstand it soon. Forget it. Fighting with you won't help my swordsmanship. Luo Feng suddenly shook his head and sighed. The difference in skills between them is too great, it's one-sided, and there's no sharpening effect. Luo Feng waved his hand. Boom! I saw a mighty blood-red river spreading out, and in an instant it covered the entire cave in Yin Kang. Luo Feng's second mechanical treasure, the River of Life and Blood. Luo Feng obtained it from the Blood Python Guild president. Killing Wu Yui and River of Blood of Life, as single-target secret treasures of the eternal mechanical flow, both contain Chaos Realm moves. Since my realm is not high enough, I will use the Chaos Realm techniques among the mechanical treasures. The River of Life and Blood that was controlled by only 1% of his own divine power was already mighty and powerful. When it enveloped Yin Kang, it naturally began to suppress, restrain, erode, and destroy Yin Kang's divine body. Why is this River of Life and Blood so powerful? Yin Kang's face changed. Driven by the perfect divine power, the mechanical secret treasure in Luo Feng's hand can naturally burst out with superpower. Under the double suppression of Wu Yui's control of chaos and the erosion and destruction of the Blood River of Life, Yin Kang also felt the threat of death. Not good, let's go. Yin Kang immediately used his secret treasure of escape mechanical flow. He was able to accept assassination missions for a long time and still survived to this day, so naturally his ability to preserve his life was extraordinary. In an instant, Yin Kang turned into a stream of light, tearing apart the rolling river of blood, breaking through the chaos and trying to escape. You've wasted so much of my time, all in vain. The fleeing Yin Kang instantly passed by Morosa and Moyu Qingyang, who were trembling with fear in the distance. They were both hiding in a small building in the distance. Luo, he only has 2 servants, both of them should die. Yin Kang always wanted to kill anyone he wanted to kill. His fleeing light naturally passed by the small building. Standing on the edge of the small building, Morosa, with a look of horror on his face, suddenly opened his mouth, which became extremely huge, occupying half the size of the cave, and swallowed up the escaping light that Yin Kang had transformed into in one gulp. Get out of my way! An angry roar came from that mouth, and Yin Kang counterattacked frantically. Gurgle! Morosa swallowed hard and swallowed it completely. He grinned at Luo Feng in the distance. Master, he just rushed to my mouth. The wings of Wu behind Luo Feng bloomed, and he saw this scene while walking on the rolling river of blood. He was originally planning to use the Lai Yuan technique, but when he saw the bloody mouth of Morosa, Luo Feng stopped. Without the array technique, I am indeed much weaker than Morosa. Luo Feng also understood this after seeing this scene. I have a perfect divine body, and so does he. His realm is much higher than mine. Just this swallowing seems simple, but in fact his realm is close to the Chaos Realm. With a sneak attack, the assassin can't escape. Luo Feng was very clear about the assassin's strength. Under the suppression of controlled chaos, he could not touch the assassin even when he used his hands and wings to perform sword skills. But Morosa opened his mouth and swallowed, and the assassin couldn't dodge. Moreover, Morosa's perfect divine body is even more resilient. The assassin could pierce my divine body with one sword, but he went into Morosa's mouth. Morosa's mouth was not damaged at all. Just from this one swallow, Luo Feng saw a lot. Morosa, who possesses the origin of destruction, can grow as long as he devours, and his understanding of the origin of destruction will become deeper and deeper until he completely masters it. Even a talented person like Luo Feng can feel the gap between them. Morosa is a natural perfect life form, and I am a perfect life form through cultivation. As a world beast, he is born with the origin of destruction, and the essence of his life is equivalent to the original universe. I am weaker, so I need to practice and comprehend step by step. Of course, I am his master. Luo Feng smiled. Morosa took only 2 steps to get close to Luo Feng. Seeing his master's smile, he felt a little flustered and said, "Master, I didn't disobey your orders. I only used normal moves. I don't blame you," Luo Feng said with a smile. When they first arrived at the origin continent, Luo Feng had issued a strict order that even if he died, Morosa could not reveal his identity as a world beast. Once it was revealed, it would attract the attention of the truly terrifying existence on the origin continent, and that would be the end of him. Morosa's power is normal divine power, and the moves he uses are also normal. Luo Feng naturally won't blame him. "Is the assassin dead?" Luo Feng asked. "If he is swallowed by me, he will die." Morosa nodded. Although both of them are perfect divine bodies, Morosa makes better use of them, and his explosive power is even more terrifying. He is carrying the cause and effect communication token. Will he tell others about my strength before he dies? Morosa suddenly became a little worried. "You are also an extremely powerful eternal true god?" Luo Feng shook his head. "Don't worry, it's no big deal if you are exposed." Super powerful eternal true gods were not rare, and several could be found in every large city, and the number of them in the entire origin continent was even greater. Even if the outside world knew that both the master and the servant were extremely powerful eternal true gods, it would only be a trivial matter not worth mentioning. I acted very quickly. He was struggling with all his might to survive. He died the moment I swallowed him. It was too late to send a message. Morosa said, "These are all the items he left behind, even the cosmic sand is here." Morosa waved his hand, and a pile of items appeared next to him, including the sword in the world. This time, he couldn't help but take action. Morosa was afraid that his master would blame him, so he didn't dare to keep any of the spoils. "Follow me, tell me if you need anything." Luo Feng did not refuse and accepted all the treasures. Anyway, Morosa would naturally become stronger, so it was okay to be poor, because he was the one who needed resources the most. "Only if I am strong enough, I can protect this beast in the future on the origin continent. Then I'll go into seclusion first. I need to digest it," said Morosa. "Yes." Luo Feng waved his hand and took Morosa into the Star Tower. A space on the first floor of the Star Tower. Morosa looked at the bodies of the two eternal true gods, Commander Chen Yuchong and Mai Wuqi, lying in front of him, and couldn't help but smile. The master also cares about me very much. When he killed these eternal true gods, he deliberately kept the bodies well. With Luo Feng's fighting prowess, if he hadn't deliberately preserved the bodies, they would have been reduced to ashes long ago. Luo Feng still maintained the small universe field covering the entire cave. He took a look at the cave that had been damaged. Immediately, the scene in the small universe field changed. Some rocks and soil condensed and formed, and began to repair the cave. "Qingyang, you can come out now," Luo Feng shouted. As a true god, Qingyang hid in the small building, terrified. If this confrontation affected him even a little, he would be gone. So when Luo Feng used the small universe domain, he also deliberately protected Mo Yu Qingyang. Of course, Mo Yu Qingyang did not see the subsequent fight scene. Under the cover of the small universe, if Luo Feng doesn't want him to see it, he can't see it. "Master." Mo Yu Qingyang came out of the small building, looked around, and asked, "Master, where is Lord Luosa?" During this period, the master did not instruct him. But Lord Luosa often instructed him, and Mo Yu Qingyang was very grateful to Morosa. At this moment, Mo Yu Qingyang was worried that Lord Luosa was affected and died. "Don't worry, he is in seclusion." Luo Feng said, "The battle is over, you don't have to think too much, just practice with peace of mind." After saying that, Luo Feng flew to the pavilion on the top of the mountain. "Yes, master." Mo Yu Qingyang responded respectfully. His mind was indeed in turmoil, because his experiences during this period were too thrilling. Flame Wind Hall. The grey mist figure and the owner of the Yangfeng Pavilion sat opposite each other. They all guessed that when Luo Feng came out of seclusion this time, Yin Kang, who had been waiting for a long time, would most likely take action. There's a result. The grey mist figure looked at the message in front of him. Yin Kang is actually dead. He was famous for his ability to save his life. This time, he tried to kill Luo He, but not only did he fail, he also lost his life. Second uncle, Yushu Yinkang is dead? Pavilion Master Yang Feng was a little surprised. Even with the strength of his infinite divine body, he couldn't say that he could completely kill Yinkang. Easy to defeat, hard to kill. His cause and effect has completely dissipated. His location can be locked through the cause and effect communication order. When he died, he was in the cave where Lord Luohe was, said the grey mist figure. This is also the reason why Luo Feng has never used the cause and effect communication order. Some powerful forces can use the cause and effect communication order to lock the location. Without the causal communication order, even if those big forces deduced some of Luo Feng's vague causes and effects, they could only determine whether the cause and effect existed or not, and it was difficult to lock the location. The cause and effect disappeared, and he died in Luo He's cave. Master Yang Feng nodded. This Luo He divine lord is unfathomable. Even he, a descendant of the Emperor Chu lineage of the ancient Yang Feng country, possessed an infinite divine body, had accumulated a very deep level of eternal true God, and had cultivated the most advanced inheritance of the origin continent. He was also somewhat afraid of Luo Feng. This Lord Luohe is either at a very high level or has a very powerful killing move. The grey mist figure also made a guess. Luo Feng sat in a pavilion on the top of a mountain, drinking alone. While drinking, he reflected on this confrontation. The strength of the assassin and the strength of Morosa both prove one thing: my realm is weak. Luo Feng pondered. Divine body, will, and realm are three major aspects. His divine body is a perfect divine body, which is undoubtedly powerful. This is his absolute advantage, so he is willing to spend a lot of resources on body refining to increase his advantage in this area. Will, chaos domination level peak. Luo Feng has never slacked off. He spends most of his time practicing the heart-refining secret method in the Lai Yuan technique. Realm is relatively weak. Realm is the most important of the three aspects. If you want to enter the realm of chaos domination and the level of God King, your realm must reach a high enough level. After dealing with the recent trivial matters, I need to calm down and focus on comprehending the laws of chaos. Luo Feng thought, but I'm afraid those 5 major families won't give up easily. Luo Feng had just experienced a great battle and was on alert when he sensed a breath coming outside the cave. Looking carefully, he saw Mo Lemon put away the flying boat and landed in front of the cave gate. Brother Luo He, I'm in front of the main entrance of your cave. Mo Lemon said politely. The main door opened wide, revealing a passage through the formation. Mo Lemon flew in and found at a glance that the geographical features of the entire cave had changed. There were fewer old buildings and a few new buildings. Mo Lemon flew to the top of the mountain and saw Luo Feng sitting there drinking. Brother Luo He. Mo Lemon said with a smile. I just went through a great war and repaired this cave. Luo Feng sat on the top of the mountain and looked at Mo Lemon with some doubt. I just offended your 5 major families in Menghua Tower and was immediately assassinated when I returned to the cave. Was this assassin sent by your 5 major families? Luo Feng didn't know why the assassin came or who the assassin was. No, it's not our 5 major families. Mo Lemon said anxiously. The city lord's mansion detected that Brother Luo He's cave has extremely strong energy fluctuations. The fluctuations are stronger than when he killed the blood python. The 5 major families are also worried about misunderstandings, so they asked me to come here to explain. Explain? Luo Feng drank his own wine and let Mo Lemon stand there. Then explain it to me. The assassin came so quickly and was so powerful. If it wasn't you who sent him, who sent him? Mo Lemon said, we, the 5 major families, are very clear about your strength, Brother Luo He. In the short term, there will be no experts in Huyang City who dare to deal with Brother Luo He. Luo Feng listened. In my opinion, it could be Brother Luo He's past enemy, or it could be a message sent by President Blood Python before his death, attracting a powerful outsider. Mo Lemon said, in short, no one in Huyang City should take action. Luo Feng looked at him. Is that all you have to explain? Molan smiled and said, I believe Brother Luohi, you will make your own judgment. If there's nothing else, you can go now. Luo Feng urged, not being polite at all. Luo Feng disliked the 5 major families very much because they condoned my witch's massacre of hundreds of millions of people. Brother Luohi, my Mo Li clan has no intention of becoming your enemy. Mo Li Meng shook his head. My father Mo Li Xiao has long ago issued an order prohibiting us from becoming your enemy, Brother Luohi. Luo Feng listened. But other families are used to being high and mighty. Mo Lemeng shook his head. If you kill one of their members directly and openly, they will not tolerate it. I have an idea. Brother Luohi, you should condescend to serve as the deputy commander of the Huyang Legion. In this way, you will be a member of the upper echelons of Huyang City and a member of our 5 major families. You can get out now, Luo Feng said in a cold voice. Mo Lemeng was startled and could only stand up and salute. Brother Luo, he should understand that some of the 5 major families are here for pure enjoyment, while others are here to work. We, the Mo Li family, here to work hard. We don't want to be your enemy, but if you don't back down, I can tell you that they won't give up. I know their temper very well. Luo Feng smiled lightly, but his smile was a little cold. Seeing this smile, Mo Lemeng's heart trembled inexplicably, and he vaguely saw a river of blood. I will try my best to mediate this matter. If there are any special circumstances, I will also inform Brother Luohi. Mo Lemeng said, turned around and left alone. This video will end here.